Alright, hey ladies and gents, and welcome back to another episode of High School Romance, Magi Trials. Let's get back right into it. Let's see, where's my mouse? My mouse is over here. I'm so prepared for this video, so prepared. There. Now we can resume training in keeping all our clothes on. She gives me a pointed look. It really was an accident though. I fall into pace quickly and quietly, a little anxious about trying that spell again. It doesn't help that I can't look at Charlie without my face finding a new shade of red. I really wish I hadn't seen that. I can't get it out of my head. We fall back into the routine once more, but it's not the same, and awkwardness settles over us. Charlie isn't nearly as outgoing as she was initially. I think I might have accidentally managed to weird her out. Ugh, I can't focus on any of that. I have to try and get this right so it doesn't happen again. We spend the rest of the session practicing those defensive spells, and much to my relief, I get better at them than Charlie, and Charlie remains clothed. I mean, I guess that's fine. It's not nearly as entertaining, but whatever, it's fine. We spend hour after hour drilling the defenses into our heads. There's no such thing as a break with Magi Shira. If we're not practicing magic, we're reading about it. We have 30-minute rest periods between practical lessons. By the time we finish, I'm completely exhausted. My legs hurt, my arms hurt, parts of my body I didn't use hurt. Reluctant and sore, Charlie and I change and drag ourselves into the dining hall at Magi Shira's insistence. I'm too tired to look at food. I'd rather use my tray as a pillow. Magi Shira said it'd help us recover our magic faster. Come on. Oh! I glance up, hesitating, meeting a disapproving stare that chills my blood. Mage Warren. I slammed right into him, yet I was the one who nearly stumbled backwards onto the floor. Under those eyes, I suddenly feel like it's a good idea to study our shoes instead. My hand twitches to pull down my skirt, but Charlie slaps it away steadily. I remember you from yesterday. You're Shira's newest pet project. Not a warm greeting. I only met Warren briefly, but even in that amount of time, he left a certain impression. And he's doing good at keeping it. His gaze drags over me, like a predator picking out a weak point. He adjusts his robes with a huff. Be careful. Me? If you hadn't been paying attention, this would have happened either. Blame is a two-way street. Which is not the sort of thing you'd say to a teacher at your new academy. And that's not the sort of helpful, practical sense my brain usually consults before opening my mouth. I scoff, sorting between the number of stupid things I can say. Charlie slams her foot against mine, and a smile curls over my face, and I tried to hide the tears that just sprang into my eyes. Yes, sir. It's all I can manage. He makes a little reply as he sweeps off. I'm just gonna call him. Can I just call him Snape from now on, please? Good. The terse word is muttered in parting, and then just as abruptly I run into him, he vanishes again. Was that necessary? You owe me a new pinky toe. Then you owe me your ass. You've barely been here 24 hours, and you get a look when you're about to do something particularly stupid. It's like you can turn off your brain. Besides, why would you want to make Mage Warren mad? He already has it out for us. Oh, at least I'm not the only one he hates. Why? Well, it's less to do with us and more to do with Shira. We move through the line, piling our plates with food as Charlie drags me into the gossip. I don't know where it comes from really, but it's like they have some kind of rivalry going on. I noticed that when I showed up too, he mentioned the fact that Magi Shira was taking on another apprentice. I bet they're together. You've lost me. I had a few lonely days too to think about this theory too much. Don't judge. But isn't it a nice disguise? Pretend you hate each other's work so the boss doesn't suspect you're together. Can teachers not be in relationships with each other? She shrugs. How would I know? Like I said, it was just a theory. She seems too uptight to admit she's in a relationship, and from what I can tell, he's worse than she is. But if it's true, she still has good taste, don't you think? You know, she smirks and nudges me in the side. I don't. My blank stare must finally convince her that I really am an idiot, because her expression falls. He's not exactly the worst looking guy around. Don't you think so? Total catch if you're into real strict disciplinary types. What? Wouldn't you bang him? Oh, I mean, that escalated rather quickly. Is this what girls talk about? Shame. For shame. No, that's gross. She laughs. What are you talking about? It's gross. Because he's a teacher? That just adds to the fun. What? How often have you... Abruptly, Charlie starts laughing, clearly pleased with herself. At this point, I'm just dragging reactions out of you. Are you still 12 or something? You can't even talk about sex? He's not gonna give you cooties. I mean, I guess he wouldn't. I don't know where he's been. She flicks me in the middle of the forehead. Poor innocent Sophie. Don't worry, I'll try not and give you a hard time. Indignant, I'd love to prove to her just how innocent I'm not, but that would involve a lot of other weird confessions. And instead, I slam my new tray of food down on the table, eating sulkily. Charlie doesn't pay it any mind. I'm just saying, Magic isn't bad, but I wouldn't have minded Mage Warren either. Picking up from over my salad, Charlie pulls open a roll nonchalantly. But he always takes the kids that've had formal magical training from an age and a half. I bet the parents pay him under the table too. You haven't either? Even though you grew up here? Nope. That's all she says about it, and finishes her food with record speed again. Guess she changed her mind about not having an appetite. I still pick around my tray, but all I can think about is sleep, and not the kind Charlie keeps going on about. Is that the sort of opinion I'm supposed to have about guys now? Dome types? Teachers? Is this normal? Honestly, man, I don't know. I mean, if I knew, I feel like I would have better luck, but I can't really help you there. Let me know if you find out. If just don't have any, don't have any inclination for that sort of thing at all. Thinking about Mage Warren sexually is like thinking about having sex with a cactus. But Charlie in her underwear, on the other hand, I guess there are some things that don't change along with my body. At least that's familiar territory. I collapse onto my bed the moment I'm within reach. It takes the last of my energy to wave my hand toward the door, forcing it to slide shut on its rusty hinges. And every time I close my eyes, I get another glimpse of Charlie disrobed. I really hope I don't mess things up between us already. More than they already were. Being a girl is the worst. Or maybe I'm just the worst at it. I thrash around in my bed briefly, trying to get comfortable. She didn't seem bothered by it, so why can't I get it out of my head? It's going to be a new awkward slide in my embarrassing moments film roll, and the one that always plays at night when I'm trying to get to sleep, but instead relive every remotely awkward thing I've ever done. A sharp knock interrupts it. Oh, right. Good evening. How was your dinner? I wasn't very hungry. She nods. That happens the first week or so, usually. You'll be expanding more magic here than you ever have before. Your body will get used to it, and eventually, you won't be so tired. Aware of what's coming, I strip off my clothes as she speaks. Hopefully just going with the flow will make this more normal than it really feels. She comes to stand right in front of me, looking down at me with one of those rare smiles. Charlie's words seem to echo in my head. Magic Shira isn't bad. Did she mean just as a teacher, or in the way that she was talking about Mage Warren? Because if she was, we definitely agree on that. I mean, that makes 3 of us. I mean, just saying, mate. I tried to banish that thought as the warmth of her fingertips spread through me again. But it does bring back the mortifying miscast spell from earlier. Have you already visited Charlie? I have. Did she say anything about the incident? She didn't mention it, no. Ugh, I feel like such an idiot. I really didn't mean to do it on purpose. Believe me, I highly doubt you could have accomplished something that complex intentionally. Thanks for the vote of confidence. Do you think this ritual helped you today? I don't know. The effects can be hard to notice immediately. Give it time. The warmth builds in me once again, making the world seem distant and hazy. All the exhaustion from the last day finally crashes down on me. In hindsight, it makes sense. My body sways forward without my consent. In that moment, it feels like Shira's moves just jumped up and latched onto my face. Oops. Careful. Careful, Sophie. Shira gently guides me back onto bed, keeping her hand steadily on my back as she guides me down onto the bed. I can still taste fabric and sexual awkwardness. Go to sleep. You have another long day ahead of you tomorrow. I think I have a long life ahead of me. I feel her brush a few strands of my hair away from my face. With the path you have chosen, let's hope so. Aw, see, she's nice. I like Shira. She's got like that hard exterior, but she's all soft and gooey on the inside. It's adorable. My first week at the school passes quickly. It's not the smoothest sailing, of course. With magic, Shira tells me it never is. The changing of pace surprises me the most. Back home, everything we learned was so practical, day-to-day use. Here, it's all survival. I'm finally getting a real dose of what Shira and Charlie have been talking about. We drew through attacks after attack after attack. We utilize the elements in our environment, manipulate shadows to our will. And to think I was excited when I learned how to reattach a button to a shirt. When I sit at the lunch hall each day, I look around at the faces there, trying to rationalize that some of them are going to get hurt. Some of them might even die. So why are you here too? There can't be this many people who feel like I do, can there? Admittedly, I guess most of them are like Charlie. They'll get promoted to Mage or Magi, and that'll be the end of it. But there have to be a few who want to press on, who want to become a sorcerer despite the odds and the risks. No matter how real it becomes, it never turns me away. Charlie still thinks it's insufferable, so we don't talk about it. We don't talk about much, really, outside of magic and Shira. It's like we're in our own little ecosystem, staring into the shark tank while gasping from water. I sigh as I slide my tray in beside hers, sitting down into my usual seat. Your elbows are growing back? Told you they would. I grimace at the reminder of very small, manageable fire I may have accidentally started. It's not like it was an important room, and I did it a favor, getting rid of those hideous curtains. Spoken like a true pyromaniac interior designer. I take a bitter sip of my drink, though inwardly I am a little relieved my eyebrows are coming back in. It's only been a couple days since we worked with fire magic, which isn't something I think Shira is going to let me do again for a long time. Let me see. She rubs a thumb over them, where the ends were singed and brittle. It's not like I need them anyway. I'm not exactly winning any beauty contests here. I've been noticing it for a while now. Noticing what? I picked around my plate. Why am I rambling on about this? It's not Charlie's problem. It's barely even a problem at all. She jabs me sharply in the side. Talk. Ow! What are you, the mob? I just meant... none of the girls here really look the way I look. Which kind of makes sense, all things considered, but it still gets to me. Irrational as I know it is. It's been bugging me forever. And by forever, I mean barely a week, but let's not get specific. But I guess there's not a real reason for it. Maybe all city kids just look different. Pfft, of course there's a reason. She waves her fingers. Magic! I scoff. I'm serious. You don't do any of the basic makeup tricks, do you? I've never noticed anything. Makeup tricks? You know, slightly fuller eyebrows, brightening eye color, skin with natural glow, the works. You can do all that through magic? How do you not know this? Where have you been? You know, sometimes I can't tell if you're just weird where you're from, or if you're not a very typical girl. She's on to me, and I think she might have just called me ugly. One of those should proceed over the other, but it still stings. My heart kicks into overdrive for no reason. I feel as if some kind of undercover educational bouncer is going to bust from the throng of students, from the righteous cry of imposter. Then he'd probably wheel kick me in the face out of the school. Charlie's looking at me intently, as if she's skinning me with her eyes and seeing what's underneath. What do I say to get out of this one? I never had a teacher. I don't care about how I look. Boy, I don't... Oh, I really don't know what to do with this one. Because I'm torn. Because I'm very open about the fact that I want to get Shira route. If I say I never had a teacher, she's going to teach me. And we're going to have like a little buddy-buddy time. If I say I don't care about how I look, it's like I want to look good. I want to look good. Shoot. I guess I'm just going to say I don't care about how I look. Yeah. I guess I'll go with that. I just never had a teacher. Huh. I mean, that's tough. That's really tough. I'm going to go with this one for shits and giggles. Says the blonde bombshell with a rack she could use as a cup holder. She smirks. Preach to me a little more about your beauty problems, princess. You were the one who said I was weird. And did she just call me hot? I mean, I know I've got the body down. My previous preferences certainly didn't get reset. It is weird. Everyone's so into that kind of thing. I figured it would cause you to, you know, you knew you didn't need it. Oh, not exactly used to talking about my appearance and rarely ever in a position that way. My throat locks up against the attempt. Do you have any kind of thing? The makeup stuff? She scoffs. What do you think? I think that's a question that doesn't have a right answer. Surprisingly diplomatic. Maybe you're learning a thing or two here after all. I don't think avoiding trick questions is one of the areas of study, but I'll be sure to tack it into my future resume. I don't play the glamour game. No, I'm just not the type. Looking at those big brown eyes, I can see why. Anything that looked fake about her would just wouldn't be right. But that doesn't mean I don't know how to do that kind of spells. And I am a curious kitten. Curious about what? She smirks at me devilishly and pushes her last helping of vegetables towards me. Eat up quick and maybe you'll find out. I changed my mind. I don't want to do this. Oh, don't be such a baby. You'll like it. I promise I'll do a good job. She crosses over her heart, looking at me with such a firm seriousness that I'm inclined to believe it. How did I get roped into this? I grimace as I let Charlie cast spells over my face, praying she doesn't accidentally transform my nose or remove it from my eyelids. And the slightest chuckle sends ice water through my veins. You're going to make me look like a clown, aren't you? With that expression, you already do. Stop frowning so hard. You'll pull something. She tugged the edge of my cheek, trying to convince my face to smile. It's like you're attempting your best Mage Warren impression. He's a cutie and all, but it wouldn't kill him to look happy. A cold chill sweeps over my cheeks. What was that? Am I going to sparkle after this? I can make that happen if you want. I don't want it. Nothing about this feels right. I think I'd rather be strapped into an interrogation table. Weren't you the one complaining earlier about not looking like everybody else? And didn't you say you didn't like this kind of thing either? Shh, stop making sense and let me have some fun. It's a Friday night and I had to be stuck in here. At least let me get to enjoy it. I sit as still as I can, blinking rapidly as I feel a strange, heavy cluster on my eyelids. I can see my eyelashes. I can see them sticking out of my face. Is that supposed to happen? Don't ask questions. I blink compulsively. This is worse than having hair in your eyes. How do you even know how to do this if you don't like it? I had some friends who were into this kind of thing. I guess I picked it up from them. Charlie had friends? It's weird thinking about her talking to someone else. Here, she only really interacts with me. She doesn't strike me as the shy type either, but when you're not as official a student of the school and have no classes with anyone else, I guess it's a friendship of necessity. Where are they now? She shrugs. Where I left them, I guess. Now stop talking. I'm trying to plump your lips. Unless you want a swollen tongue instead. I fall silent, at the mercy of Charlie's hands and having no idea what she's doing to me. But I have a feeling the threat wasn't just because of the magic. After about 15 minutes of grueling torture, Charlie seems to find some benevolence and lets me go. There, check it out. I brace myself for the catastrophe that is my face. Whoa. I touch my skin, my appearance just unfamiliar enough to remind me of someone else. It's a little unnerving, like Sophie has suddenly taken on a complete life of her own and is using my body like a host. But at least she can live an attractive life, I guess. I'm not sure if I should like this as much as I do. See? There you go. You can look like everyone else now, glammed out and ready to kill someone in 5. I saw 6 inch and I thought that was going somewhere else entirely. I really did. I guess so. Do you like it? Do you want me to show you the ropes? I shake my head admittedly. No, like I said, I don't have any real interest in it. You were the one who said you wanted to try it. And I can't imagine doing this on the daily. We've probably been at it 30 minutes, and that was with someone who supposedly knew what they were doing. Interesting. Really thought that you changed your mind when you saw yourself in a mirror. What, you think I'm vain? No, Sifrim's breath? I don't know what that is. You think the worst of me, don't you? I thought you were struggling with your appearance or your identity or something. That's what you made it sound like when I thought this would help. But let's not pretend this wasn't also for my own amusement. Her fingers trail through my hair, musing it up a bit as it falls over my shoulders. Ugh, I could totally pimp you out. Yeah, I'm gonna hazard a guess here and say that's against the rules. A sharp knock at the door interrupts us, and my mind immediately goes into panic mode. Take it off! Is now really the time to be getting undressed? Charlie! The knock repeats. 1 second! I grab her by the sleeve, as if getting caught with makeup on my face is somehow scandalous. Will you calm down? She pulls away. What's the matter with you? We're wearing makeup, not making out. I don't want anyone to see. Is everything alright? Everything's fine. I practically hiss through my teeth. Get this off my face! We both freeze suddenly when I hear a second voice outside the door. Who's that? Ooh, that seems like a good cliffhanger. We will find out who that is in the next episode. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you Back on the prowl next time.